It's 3:30 a.m. That can only mean one thing, that we're off to the airport for Ohio Range Day. It's gonna be a dope weekend. Can't wait to see there. One flight down, one to go, and then we are in Ohio. Night one was a good time, but here we are officially on day one. And if you watched last year's video, you'll see the parking lot. This year is insane. So, we're starting off right with a cigar. It's always better when it's your own, but we're gonna have a fun weekend. So one of the main reasons I came back to Ohio Range Day from last year, other than all the sweet stuff, was Kamar Group. These dudes are impeccable with their training. It is a very different style. If you watched last year's video, you heard me and how highly I talked about them. And so my option was either go to France and train with you guys, or just come back to Ohio. So this was a little bit easier. But I am with the owner, right. of Kamar Group, Clement. It's
both works.
Right, like that language barrier. But you guys came 3 years ago as spectators, right?
Right, like 4 years ago.
Okay, and then the last 2 years they've been vendors and training. And what's the difference from your perspective? What do you enjoy most as coming as a spectator to now training some of these courses?
One of the biggest things I experiment personally from the trainees' perspective was the community aspect, because it's not something super common in Europe specifically. You have a big energy around this industry, community-wise. We don't have any kind of thing like this in Europe, so pretty well. There was a good point was the opportunity to have a bunch of some most famous trainers in the same place in the same time. So it's quite easy to attend few high-quality classes in a short amount of time, specifically when you come from over the pond.
Right. Over here, it is open to anybody at Ohio Range Day as long as they get in your class. But in France, right, you only train...
in France, we only train professionals. So it means governative professionals, so law enforcement, police officers, etc., military, custom borders, private security, but only a professional user. It's due of the just legal regulation, the legal perspective, and we have to deal with that. In some other places in Europe, we are more free to work the way we want. In Switzerland, for example, because they have a militia army, means every major male should be able to be mobilized if something happens. So in Switzerland, for example, we train also with just civilian, just private. But in France, we only focus and only provide tactical training, shooting tactical training for professional user.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. And again, if you guys don't follow these guys, you are missing out. As you know from our channel, you know I'm huge on both the fitness aspect and the firearms aspect. These guys do it all. So swing over to their page, show them some love, and if you have the chance to come out here and train with them, it is worth every penny and so much more.
Thank you. Glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you. Day 2 was a rep. I trained with Kamar Group, did not get any video from that. So I'll recap that towards the end of the video. Just like last year, it was absolutely insane. It's awesome feeling more comfortable with the stuff we were doing because I did it last year, but I recommended that class to a few buddies that were in it, and they just as well talk very highly of it. So I'll leave it short and sweet for now. We are heading to the Ohio Range Day church service that I am stoked to lead. We'll see how the turnout is. Tons of interest, but also Saturday nights run really late. So I don't think we got to bed till like 1:30 or so last night, and then we're up at 6 to do it again. So these are very long days. After church today, I've got Rogue Methods, which I will not have my phone on me to record anything, but it'll be a lot of beating up and getting beat up. So I'm excited for that. And then I'll try to take clips when I can, but I make this video so that you guys that may be interested in Ohio Range Day can see what it's like. Obviously, you'll never know until you come experience it in person, but year 2, we're over halfway over, and again, well worth every dollar.
30 seconds in.
Just finished the Rogue Methods class where we did a lot of beating and banging and shooting and having all kinds of fun with one of the baddest teachers on the planet. That's why I wanted to get him pulled to the side real quick and just explain to you guys the necessity of being well-rounded in all your training. Jiu-jitsu is cool. Muay Thai is cool. Being able to shoot a gun is cool. But as we've seen in this class, which I doubt you'll see very many clips of, but what we figured out in this class is like you need to be well-rounded. Especially, we're both out of Arizona. Many of our subscribers out of Arizona because that's where we run our shows. What is the importance, without the obvious answer, of our families, especially men, being protectors of those families being well-rounded?
So on the big scale, the big picture, one is just being capable as an individual, but on the flip side and like the cooler side is the people looking up to us, the next generation, the younger crowd. If they see guys like us doing it, and then that inspires them, right? And that's a form of growth through inspiration. But the ability to protect yourself, protect the ones you love, builds confidence. It builds a happier relationship and a happier household because everyone is happy with each other. We're not worried about what's going to happen next. They trust that I'm going to handle what needs to be handled. I know that mom's going to do her portion, and me as a kid, I get to observe and be a part of that collectively, build that memory, and then when that child becomes a grown-up, they're infused with that tenacity, that aggressive nature of protecting what they love and what they care for. And then that trickles down to a point where it's in your bloodline and it never leaves. And now you've created a whole different type of human that carries us forward aggressively, but in a faithful way that makes life better for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your class. Thank you for the interview. We'll see you in Arizona. Classes are a wrap, and though they are fun, there's nothing like some Midwestern Mexican food. Came here last year, had to come again. This place is amazing. It's one thing I miss about Indiana. Not real Mexican food. So we are back from Ohio Range Day. I don't like this angle, but it's what we've got right now without a tripod. So let's talk a little bit about Ohio Range Day. Again, this is my second year I've been there. First year was 2004, and it was amazing. There's not much I would ask to be done differently. So obviously that brought us back this year and Ohio Range Day 2025. And it was so much better than 2024. I didn't even know it could get better than 2024, but it did. The vendor selection was fantastic. Being able to run the church service on Sunday, amazing, humbling, awesome. Saturday, as you saw, I trained with the Kamar Group. and I don't want to give away too much. I want to point you to doing their class and hopefully at Ohio Range Day. But their style of training is all based on light, which is 75% of our senses, when in America, we do everything based on sound, which is only 15%. So it's just incredible to see a different style and how much it does work, but also how much it makes your brain work. The end of Saturday, I was like physically tired, but mentally just drained. It was funny, me and my buddy got back to the hotel and we're just trying to think through different things, and we're just like, my brain feels wrecked. Almost like I had a terribly hard workout and your body's super fatigued. That's how my brain felt, and that's what this training does to you. It opens up a part of your brain that you really haven't been exposed to. And so it was amazing. Again, that is the Kamar Group. Swing over to their website. You'll have to translate it from French to English, but they have some amazing products, great quality t-shirts. And then we move on to Sunday. Sunday, I had Rogue Methods class. And that is a class that separates the boys from the men. And no matter who you are, unless you're just an absolute nutcase, you go into that class with your brain telling you, like, get out, just don't do it. But they place you in real life situations that if you're exposed to that, you are not going to become John Wick. You are not going to rise to this special level of knowledge. You're not going to remember that one training did. You're not going to see red. No, you're going to die. So being able to train these things in an environment with people that don't really want to kill you, but with sim rounds and stuff like that, it was absolutely incredible. And that's what that one clip was of the fighting thing. It was pretty much 7 hours of fighting, 2 hours of shooting. But the 7 hours of fighting was learning different things, how to protect your gun. Again, take that class. I'm not going to give away that information. But the rules of the fight that I had was we wanted to steal the other person's gun and shoot them with it. We both had guns with sim rounds holstered, and we could not pull and shoot our own. We had to take it from the other person. So what you saw was wrestling for that. Took the back, slowly started working my way getting it, and he chucked the gun. So first thought in my mind is just choke him out. So if this happens in a real life situation, it might happen 10 out of 10, 10 times different. But that was my initial thought, and I'm glad that I had the training going into this for something like that to register. So I took the back and I choked him. My thought, if that was real life on the street, he's now choked out. There's no tapping on the street. And then I go get the gun, secure it, however I have to do with that. But Rogue Methods, even if you can't take theirs at Ohio Range Day, they have a lot more classes around the United States that you guys can train at if you're from America. And I cannot recommend those enough. So those are kind of a brief overview of the other courses. What do you do on Thursdays and Fridays? Thursdays, as you saw, is just a little icebreaker. It's a place to gather around, meet like-minded people, and make it so it's not awkward the next few days. And it was amazing. Like 2024, that Thursday, try not to let this go out, but that last Thursday, there was probably, say, 50 to 60 people. This year, there was probably 250 to 300 people, and it was awesome. It was great to see everybody again. I went into the weekend thinking I'm probably two and done at Ohio Range Day. That cost, travel, all that adds up, and it's also time away from the family. But as soon as I got there on Thursday, I was like, yeah, we're coming back. We're coming back. And that's what it does to you. I never realized the friends that would be made from across the United States just by gathering and training hard for a few days. So with that being said, my application's getting turned into Ohio Range Day, and hopefully I'll get accepted again for 2026. But I do want to talk about cost. I know cost is going up a little bit for Ohio Range Day, and I don't fault that at all. I'm in the promoting business. I understand. I completely get it. So there's no issue with that. The amount of training that you get is something you really can't put a price on. So I would recommend, if it's something you're interested in, save throughout the rest of the year, skip a vacation, ask for donations, whatever it takes. It is well worth going to. And it's not one of those things, it's not just a vacation where you get to go relax, because there's no such thing as relaxing there. It is hard and it is tiring, but it is information that you will have in your head to continue to practice. And the reason I say to continue to practice is because it is information. If you go there and you learn it within 3 months of not practicing it, you'll probably lose most of it. So that being said, go there to learn drills that you bring home and continually practice. So I think it's like $900 and something this time to go to Ohio Range Day, but then you have hotel or Airbnb on top of that. You have a rental car. You have not a whole lot of food. They feed you very well. They do not skip out on meals. They take care of you. Thank you, Rick. Amazing food. So the only food you're really buying is pretty much Sunday night if you're staying until Monday like we do. So there's not much of a cost there. Sometimes you need to buy equipment for certain classes, but majority of people that'll be interested in this will have an arsenal of everything that they need and can make do with what they have. But my first year I went, I think I was a little bit over $2,000 and everything said and done. I would have to watch my video back. But this year, I think I was only 800 and something for the Ohio Range Day. We were 200 something for the vehicle, so they were at 1,000, and then hotel and flight put us probably around right around that 2,000 mark. So I know the first year was exceptionally more expensive just by buying parts for my guns and everything. This year definitely was cheaper, and next year we have ways to make it even cheaper. So there are ways to cut costs, and I would recommend those, especially if you are trying to go with a budget. But if I was to spend $10,000, training with Kamar Group is personally worth that to me. And I got a bonus of Rogue Methods, which might be my favorite class I've ever taken. I love Kamar because it's all shooting, but I like to scrap, I like to fight. So Rogue was absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to take another one of their classes. So without making this too long-winded, 10 out of 10. I did not plan on going back. You ask my buddy, you ask my wife. My wife was even telling me, like, go, you enjoy it. And I was like, a third year, I just don't need to. I've enjoyed it. How can it get any better? But just by getting there, seeing all my buddies again, I'm definitely going back. So if this is any recommendation to you, applications are live now. So make sure you fill those out, and I hope to see you there next year. And let's just have a good time. I don't know the instructors that'll be there next year, but I know if Kamar Group's there, I will try to train with them for a third straight year and learn a lot more information. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you enjoy something like this. I know last year's video got quite a few views of people that are just interested in Ohio Range Day. But if you did want to see the sermon from Sunday, it's a few videos back before this one, but cannot say it enough, cannot speak highly enough of it. Rick, you put on such an amazing event, and that's from somebody that puts on events 40 weekends out of the year. You absolutely crush it, and cannot wait to see what's different next year, because I know you're going to blow it away even again. So Ohio Range Day 2025, amazing. See you guys later.